Welcome back to Marriage or Hell No. Fellas, I must say, I hope you guys enjoyed your weekend. I know I did. I took 3 days off, managed to do some traveling, and chill with a nice young lady. So, pardon me for being away, fellas, from the mic. But one thing I will tell you is that we are back in full effect on this Monday morning. And what are we going to be talking about today, fellas? We're going to be talking about a lady who has gone viral for telling it how it is when it comes to how these modern women be moving. And guess what? They can't stand what she is talking about. But we are going to be covering it today because she is addressing a very important topic. Without further ado, fellas, let's get into the content.
Why are men bailing out of relationships?
Now, as we know, there are way too many answers that we could easily provide for this woman here doing this TikTok, who happens to be an influencer. Shout out to her. But I think she also has been a relationship coach for women. And she made a rough transition from being able to talk to the modern woman, getting frustrated with the modern woman, and then saying, you know what, I'm going to talk to the men. And everybody's been really butthurt about some of her commentary. But shout out to her, man, because I think she's doing some good work. At least she's willing to have the conversation. And slowly but surely, fellas, I promise you, we are going to start seeing more and more women coming out of this mindset. But for the purposes of this, I'm pretty sure she could not name all the reasons why we are leaving relationships within 2 minutes and 45 seconds. But let's carry on.
I'm always seeing from women in the comments section that men are not men anymore, that they don't want to provide anymore. But we've been living in a society that has constantly shunned men. We have this perpetuation of, well, I don't need a man anymore because I can work on my own and I don't want to be a slave to him. I don't want to be his maid and his cook. A lot of women also kind of shame this whole idea of having children as if it's like beneath them or something. So if a man wants to have a child, why would he settle down with you and marry you and provide for you and be the man for you?
100% facts. Now, what did she just mention right there? She talked about men feeling shunned for doing the things that we've always done in society and not being appreciated. Definitely number one on the books. But then also, you really have to look at the conversation and really say, what do men really have to gain in marriage nowadays? And the answer really is slim to nil when you really look at the data and the statistics, because men tend to lose a lot when they get married, and women have all the incentive to act like they want to marry you and then later on divorce you and take all your stuff. So there's not really a lot of momentum and not a lot of incentive for a man to get married. Now, she did mention one other thing that we really have to talk about. And I think that that's one of the reasons why men do continue to get married in today's day and time, really, because we want legacies more so than anything. So, myself, I already have a child, but if I wanted more children, I would not do it outside of marriage because I know, because the data proves that children that do not have a father and a mother in their life, growing up in a married household, they tend to be less successful as far as children. So, men who want to go out here and get married, believe it or not, they're really doing it for legacy purposes. Now, she also touched upon another thing about the cooking and cleaning. And women are going to have to get over that because the harsh reality, and I hate to say this, but it's really true. I tell this to a lot of girls. Some girls get mad at me for saying this. Other girls be like, I'm fine with that. But it's really the cooking and cleaning, because women will be surprised if a woman asked you, what can she do for you? It's really only going to be three or four answers that a woman can actually bring to your life. There's not really going to be much outside of those three or four answers. And cooking and cleaning is probably going to be within those four answers. And a lot of women just can't stomach that. But that's the reality, ladies. Like, what do you really bring?
Since we have such a prevalent hookup culture, women believe that this kind of idea of being promiscuous is empowering. It's not giving the man the incentive to be the man and the provider and step up for you because you're not being a traditional woman yourself. Why would he show up as a traditional man for you?
Once again, facts. And the reason is because men don't want to see themselves with a promiscuous woman. The reason being is that men, we really care about our image a lot. And when you have a promiscuous woman, a woman who has to be seen, a lot of attention. She needs validation from other sources than the man who is providing and protecting her. Men who have gone out there, bust their butts in corporate America or in the world to be successful, do not want a woman who is out there showing her goods, acting like the town it girl. Nobody wants that because the man's image is important to him. And we should not back off of that, fellas. Keep that in mind.
We have kind of shunned men out of society. Like we blame everything on them. We're so oppressed, we say, in the United States, which is so ironic because women are doing better academically. And when women couldn't work, none of us were even alive during that time. So we're making the modern day man pay for what has happened before any of us were even born. The other thing I think is kind of unfair is that women want men to be the sole provider while she also goes to work and she doesn't want to do the household duties either. She feels like the household duties are also beneath her. So, what exactly are you wanting? You want to work full time, make money full time, and then have a man fully provide for you without you doing any kind of work in the home?
But yet, women want to go out there, work, right? And then keep all of their money. But check this out. What happens when a man decides to put all of his resources on the line to be able to provide a house, shelter for that woman to feel protected in? When you look at the numbers, it is always men using their 401ks, using their retirement money, using any money that they have saved up throughout those years to make those down payments on their houses. But yet, women want to go and say, okay, yes, you're a provider, you're a protector, you're going to put me in this household, but yet then you're going to come home and do the household cleaning? What sense does that even make? It doesn't make any sense. I think it's really important to have this conversation because I think a lot of men need to start understanding what we're really investing in. Because imagine if you put all that money on the line, that money that you have accumulated. And I've seen videos where these guys go out here, provide a nice, beautiful house. Dudes be going from like a 1 bedroom to like a 3 bedroom house to try to provide for their woman. Then 10 years later, this woman divorces you, and then you get kicked out of the house that you help even build. And that's why men are starting to understand what's the point of getting married when everything is going to be a transactional relationship. If I'm going to give you one thing, then you need to give me something back in return. But there ain't no way in hell men should be going out here providing and protecting for women who are not traditional women.
I know of a woman who is completely provided for by her husband. She doesn't work, she doesn't have kids, and she complains that he does not do laundry. So it's almost like women want men to do everything for them without her lifting a finger to do anything back for the guy. How do you expect a man to step up as the provider role for you if he's not getting anything in return? Also, 80% of divorces are initiated by women. And in those divorces, even if the woman cheats, the man has to pay out 50% of his income to her alimony, 401k, retirement, giving away the house. I've seen a lot of instances like this where men work really hard and then they have to pay out like $500,000 to a woman who cheated on him. So it makes a man weary to actually get married anymore because he's not so sure that a woman is going to stick around. And with all of this man hating rhetoric we see all over the internet, they don't really feel appreciated in society.
So how are men supposed to go out here and do what they got to do, bust their butt at work, be able to provide for you? Then when the man comes home, you feel like there's additional work for him to do. Then when you're a stay-at-home wife at that with no children, how could you have any complaints? But fellas, this is what we are starting to see in the dating market. It is nothing but transactional relationships, and nobody wants to see that. I don't want to see that. I don't want you fellas to go through that, but also I don't want women to go through that because at the end of the day, a lot of these women are going to get left behind. And I'm going to bring you a story later on in the week that just shows the scary outlook of what a lot of these women will be facing here. And that's the reason why men are saying enough is enough. There's no point in getting married to somebody who moves like a modern woman. If you want to move like a traditional woman, show me that you care about things like being a mother. You care about the cooking and cleaning duties. You care about child rearing practices. You care about teaching kids instead of sending them off to God knows what they're teaching these kids at these schools. I can't even wait to do a video about that. But do you take pride in being a mother and a wife? And if you don't, guess what? We are not going to stop you, but we are not going to marry you. And my answer to those women who want to move like that, best of luck with that. Go out there, girl, do your thing, be promiscuous. The world is yours, but move aside for the real women who are going to say, look, I appreciate what this man does, and I'm going to give my all to him. And I understand his needs, but as well, he understands my needs. Shout out to this woman here for really speaking facts. And it's about time that we start getting some of these women on our side to say, you know what, girl, look, bye. If you want to act like that, girl, bye. We're going to move on. And good luck out there finding a man. Until next time, fellas. I hope you guys enjoy your Monday. If you haven't subscribed to the channel, feel free to do that. We are steadily growing, but we will be kind of going in different directions due to some of the challenges that YouTube is putting out there in our way. We know that they want to shut this manosphere thing down, but they can't really stop us. And I'm willing to take that chance because I want to fight for you guys. Like, this channel is really about men first and men foremost.